welcome to another episode of Tormenta Talk. We are La Tormenta, the official supporters group for West Texas FC. I'm Luke McDonald. I'm here with Chris Haig, Brian Hodnett, and a couple of very, very special guests. We have members of the squad, Antoine Marquez, Apia, and Lucas Fenton. Guys, thank you guys so much for your time. I know the season is crazy. Everything happens fast. Y'all's schedule is nuts, and I really appreciate you guys spending some time with us.
Nah, no problem at all. I think you work harder than us with this podcast, no?
Yeah.
Only by a little bit.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
No, 100%.
Man, we have a lot to talk about. We would have a lot to talk about anyway, but the last game that we were all at was a pretty good one, I'd say. El Dustico away, we won. It secured the trophy. It secured first place for the regular season in the division. I mean, you guys have just got to be riding the same wave that we're on. How did that game feel?
Happy, you can go first.
That was crazy. That was crazy because we knew the importance of the game, especially playing away. I know they were waiting for that game because of the first game that we had against them. Mm-hmm. And the only way for us to finish first was to win. So they had the pressure, but we also had kind of a pressure as well. And when we scored the first goal, I was so excited. I was like, no, there is no way we're going to lose that game. Mm-hmm. And even when we concede, they tied, I was like, no, they're not going to make it. We're going to win. I was so confident. And no, that's more than a team. We always say, we're a family. And we proved it on the field. And even the guys on the bench, even the guys that didn't get rostered, but they came with us, was really a pleasure. Was exciting for sure.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. 100%. How about you, Lucas?
I think the other day, obviously, we were all already excited because Arkansas beat Oklahoma, which was a little unexpected. I think to see if we could still win the league. We still need Arkansas to beat Oklahoma. That's a stretch, you know. Mm-hmm. And then obviously when that comes in, the group chat was chaos, and you could hear everyone celebrating and stuff like that. So yeah, we knew that we just had to do our part. Thankfully, Arkansas did their part, and then we took that kind of belief and confidence into the game on Saturday. And I think obviously you saw the performance. Again, we've been like that all season. We overcame adversity in the last few minutes of the game, and we go there and take the result home with us. Happy days.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. Oh, yeah, I can tell you that we had a similar experience, you know, when the first goal went in, it was a done deal in our book. You know, it was a tough match. I mean, we were feeling it. You guys were feeling it. It was hot. It was kind of muggy. But yeah. I'll say we had a good time at that game, and we had an even better time after that game. So.
And I love what you said. I love what you said, Appy, about just that belief as well, and that belief throughout the match, even when they got their goal back. We had that belief too, right? We came in confident. You guys took care of business against them the first time around, so we were thrilled to have a good group there and super confident. And you know, we were proud of that banner that we raised, Duenos del Dustico, right? Yeah. It's 2 years running now. We're the owners. It's ours until somebody takes it away from us. So we were confident as well. And even after they got the equalizer, I think we and the fans still felt that belief. But I'm curious about that. I wanted to ask you guys kind of about that, because there's been games with late winners, like that game in Oklahoma. I think my heart rate is still at 180 from that game. And there's been games where y'all have scored early and then had to hold a lead. And this was a great example on Saturday, trying to hold that lead and withstand that pressure. So I don't know, talk about a little bit about that. What does that take from you guys as a squad, and just the resilience that you guys have had through some of those challenging moments or winning games late and that type of thing?
Well, I think what you've just summed up there is kind of how we are as a team. Our defence is really solid, so you're always confident that they're not going to ship too many goals. And then we've got the attacking quality up there, that you've got guys like Alberto, Leo, Apia, who all they need is one moment, Adam as well, and they'll take it, you know what I mean? So I think in the last game we had maybe 3 good chances and we took 2 of them. So you've got a strong defence. You know, if we get a few chances, we're going to put the ball in the net, then you can't complain. And Alberto's a bit of a joke in the last few minutes, so you always hope he's going to pull something out of the hat. So yeah, and in midfield as well, I think all of the midfielders just come in and work as hard as they can, win the ball back and give it to those attacking players that we know are so dangerous. So yeah, we've got a good blend there, and I think you see that especially in the tough games like the other day.
Yeah.
No, exactly what you said. Like the resilience that we have, it's crazy. And as Lucas said, like we know that we can score any moment in the game, especially offensively. This year we have like crazy good trade, and as long as we stay solid defensively, nothing can happen to us. And it shows 2 times against Lubbock. We had a hard time at home the first game against Oklahoma. We were still in the process to know each other, so it was kind of complicated. But at the end of the day, when you look at the games and the last result that we had, we're still strong. And as I said, and as you guys said, we can score at any moment. So,
which has made for some thrilling soccer as well. It's been a blast as a fan.
Yeah, and some high heart rates for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Watch out, guys. Watch out.
Yeah. Brian, you got a question for the boys?
Yeah. Apia, this is your 4th match against Lubbock. I mean, how many of you won against them? I just want to make sure we get that clear and out there on the air. How many?
Yeah, 4 out of 4.
Right? 4
Yeah.
4 out of 4. That's what you know what? I'm glad you said that. So the real question, so you guys knew it was at stake. Y'all both talked about it, saw the Arkansas upset. It was completely unexpected, but then, the ball got put in our court. And I knew the pressure really was going to be so heavily on Lubbock. What's your what's your mindset when it comes to something like that, when hyping up for a match that you know is about to top the table? Like, this is your spot. This can be for the moment. I'd like to hear you, Lucas and Apia, both kind of give me mentally, how do you prepare for something like that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for me, obviously, I think as I've got older, especially playing college and stuff like that, and playing more and more games every single year, you realise that you've got to not go into these games with all the adrenaline and all the excitement that comes with it. I think the important thing is, as soon as you cross that white line, is to just kind of forget the fact that it is a big game and there is all these people in the crowd and stuff like that, and just play the game, not the occasion, as they like to say. So even for me, obviously, I came off the bench the other day, but the first thing I was thinking was just make sure that you don't play this occasion. Like, if you can come in here calm, you're going to have the best performance. And I think the boys do that really well here. We've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of games in college or wherever they've been before. So we're actually quite an experienced side. And I think you see that, especially in later stages of the game, when we do have the ability to hold on and then still create those chances where we can finish a team off. So yeah, I'd say across the squad, Scotty's been really focused all season as well on us controlling the controllables. Even in terms of the Oklahoma-Arkansas game, we didn't really talk much about it, especially in training and stuff. That was more amongst the lads. We just focus on what we can do in terms of our preparation and winning the game. And the guys have been really professional about the way we've sort of gone into every single match.
So personally, I have like my own routine, and I use that every game. Doesn't matter the kind of game that I'm playing, I'm going to do the same thing over and over. So I wake up in the morning, breakfast, typical French breakfast, and then I start like watching videos of either players that I like or kind of clip video, and then I start like mentally prepare. But at the end of the day, it's a normal game for me. It doesn't change anything, and I try to keep this routine. And that's it. And then I'll go for it. And I'm always excited to play a soccer match.
And that's awesome. What's a typical French breakfast? I don't know what that is.
So it's only sweet stuff, guys. Coffee, bread with Nutella, obviously, and some yogurt, fruits as well.
Nice.
Probably hard to find good croissants in Midland, though. Huh?
No. I can't, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of eggs or bacon in the morning. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, no worries.
That's
No
okay, man.
judgment
That's
here.
okay. To each his own. And actually that's a good segue. I told you guys this was going to be the first question, and we just like jumped right into Lubbock because we're all like stoked about it. But I would love just to kind of, we've gotten to know you guys, but for some of our listeners and viewers, I was wondering if you could just kind of introduce yourself, where you're from, how you got into soccer, into the sport in the first place, and then how you ended up in Midland, Texas, from where you guys are from.
Go on then, Afia. Start us off.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
So, I mean, you know that so everyone calls me Apia, but my name is Antoine Marquez. I'm from France, as you guys said. Luckily, I grew up with soccer because of my dad. He played high level back home, and he was a coach as well. So I started that way in my hometown, playing my local club. And that was the only thing I was doing after class. Whenever I went on holidays, I just wanted to play soccer. And I had the chance to come in the US in 2019. And as a lot of guys in the team, I was like a student athlete. And I had the chance to play for 2 schools, one in California when I started in a junior college for a year. Then I transferred in NAIA for Faulkner University. And how I end up in Midland, that's easy. So my last season, fall 2023, my graduate assistant coach was Scotty Murray, the head coach of West Texas right now. And I never experienced in a summer league, and I wanted to try. And he said, look, I'm going to West Texas, and I would like to bring you there. And I was like, I didn't know anything about NPSL, USL2. I had no clue. And I didn't know anything about Texas either. So I was like, look, you know what? Let's try. And we did the season that we did. And this season, when he was not named head coach, I didn't hesitate twice, even though I had other options. But I was like, I love the community. I love the club. I love the fans. And Scotty, like, I can trust him. He can trust me. I didn't hesitate, and I say, let's go for it. I'm down for another season. We have a title to defend, and I was so excited to come back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were excited to have you back, man.
Yes,
Midland loves Apia. How about you, Lucas?
Yeah, it's hard to beat that, Mr. 2 seasons, But, no, for me, almost the same story. I think for most people in Europe, soccer is the first thing that you do as soon as you can walk, We don't have other options like American football, as I like to call it, and baseball and basketball. Like, if you want to fit in at school, you start playing football. So my dad obviously played as well, and my granddad was involved with a club, so I was pretty fortunate with that. They were obviously a little encouraging for me to get into it. Started playing, and my dad never really put me in like a proper team until I was a little bit older. So I think I was around 8 when I signed for my local team. Played for a couple of years and then got picked up by an academy. Hearts, they're called Heart of Midlothian. I don't know if you've heard of them. So I played for them for about a year and a bit, and then I signed for my local club, Dunfermline, which is this team right here. So I've supported them since I was a kid, so it made life a little bit easier going there. And I ended up playing for their academy for almost 7 years. Obviously, throughout that entire time, I'm thinking, I want to be a professional footballer, as every kid does. And I felt like for a while it maybe was realistic. And as I sort of come to the end, my game time reduced a little bit and stuff like that. And I thought my dad was smart. He said, let's go up to this America trial day, see how you get on. So me and my friend went up, and they sell it really well. They show you California, they show you Florida, So yeah, I was like, this seems like a good plan B. And it was right before my exams, so it made me get some good grades, which I maybe might not have got had I have not known about my journey. Then towards the end of the season, I got released from my academy. I wasn't offered a professional contract, which I saw coming for a while, to be fair. Signed for my local club again, played with my friends for a little, and then I was like, I need a change of scenery, I'd had a trial with a few clubs and I had a few rejections, so I just wanted to go somewhere where I felt like I was wanted. Got a little injury before I came out, so I ended up going to junior college as well, like Apia. Went to Genesee Community College up in New York. They're actually in Division 3 of junior college. but a good program. The first year I didn't play as much as I would have liked to. Only started 4 games, and then the second year I became the captain somehow. It was a miracle. I ended up starting all the games, and the team got to the national final. So then I got my move to Division 1 with Niagara. So it was a bit of a step up, but I've really enjoyed it the last couple of years. And then I've been blessed with an extra year of eligibility now. So I'm heading off to Stetson to do my Masters. And as I was getting all that attraction for going to a new school, I happened to come across Scotty on LinkedIn. And to be honest, Scotty gets you on the phone really quickly, and his sales pitch is unreal, even his tactics and stuff like that. So I said, yeah, this seems pretty good. And I knew a couple guys who were kind of mutuals that had been here last year, George Windsor and Liam Corr. So I knew they'd enjoyed it too. So when Scotty said it was an option, and I was dealing with all this transfer stuff, I didn't think twice. I was like, yep, that works. Let's do that. So obviously I'm glad I took the gamble. I feel like my instinct's been pretty good throughout America. If something seems like a good option, it tends to be. And it's certainly panned out that way. I'm having a fantastic summer. So yeah.
Man, that's fantastic. So on your college, tryout day, they showed you pictures of Midland, and you were like, yeah, that's what I want.
That's where I wanted to go. As I flew into Midland, I was thinking, where on earth am I going here? I couldn't see anywhere.
The classic bait and switch.
That's a perfect transition, though, because I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to but mention, I saw your video recently you had posted on socials about living in a hot climate.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right, living in Midland and living in West Texas, and so this is kind of a 2-part question. But Lucas, talk a little bit about transitioning from upstate New York, which I've spent time up there. It's a lot different than here, right? Transitioning from there to living in West Texas, and whether that's the weather or just the community. But then, kind of for both of you too, like what have you appreciated about being in this part of Texas and this part of the country, connecting with the community? I'm just curious to hear your thoughts a little bit more about that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for me, obviously, New York's a bit cold, and that's not the fact or the part of the being in New York I enjoy, So I've always been kind of looking to go somewhere warmer. It was just by chance. Niagara was my only Division 1 offer, so I ended up staying in New York for the full 4 years, but it wasn't through lack of trying, I'll tell you. So yeah, when I had the opportunity to come down to Midland and it was somewhere warm, and I thought, yeah, I'll do that, because I always know, especially when I go on vacation or whenever I've spent time in even New York, it's got a lovely summer. I think my routine's better. I prefer not warming up before training session and games in the cold, and yeah, I've really enjoyed that. And I think in terms of the community, like I was talking to you guys a little bit off the camera there, is you guys are also bought in. You've got all the kids in the community. All the businesses sort of help the club, which I think is absolutely amazing, and it's something that's more similar to back home. In America, I can feel like, especially soccer clubs, they can be quite secluded from the community, but I think West Texas is becoming a part of it, and I think it's only going to grow arms and legs. So yeah, for me, it's been a bit of a taste of home, minus the weather, of course. But no, I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, nice.
No, and for me, in terms of weather, yeah, that's the same. So when I arrived here, I was in California, and always good weather, and I was 5 minutes away from the beach, so it was something crazy. And then when I wanted to move, so because of COVID, I couldn't stay in my JUCO, so I had to transfer, and I was looking for a place where obviously I'm gonna play. Something competitive, but also where it's hot. I don't want to go to any cold place. And I had some offers like in Nebraska and those kind of places, but I was like, no way. And then I was like, Alabama, yeah, why not? So I asked some friends that I knew from there, and they told me the weather is good, but it's humid. It's gonna be humid. So I was like, no problem. So I arrived, first practice. Oof. First jog, I was like, maybe it's too humid, maybe. But no, for real, that was good. Obviously, we had to practice early in the morning there because during the day it's too hot and a lot of sport going on in my school. So we had to practice at 6 a.m. That was the time we're practicing the whole season, spring and fall. And after obviously going to Texas, I always wanted to go to Texas because I had some friend who went there, some of my family also, and they told me Texas is really nice. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try. And obviously, as Lucas said, and you guys are making this club bigger. And I started feeling it last year. Like it was my first time experiencing like kind of. So as I said, the first time in Summer League, but also first time experiencing like a lot of people going to the game and like calling for you, like cheering and stuff like that. I had such, I would say, a similar experience back home, but it was not as big as you guys. And obviously, when you play against people, like they want everything for the club, and it's so cool. It's so like you guys so passionate. So the community, the connection was really nice, and that's why whenever the game doesn't go well and I'm sad after the game, and I always come to you guys and say I'm sorry because you deserve better than a loss or a tie. You deserve like every game we should win because of you, and that's what we said before every game as well. Look who is there. When we went to Lubbock, look, 20, 30, 40 guys came to watch us. And even when you guys, I mean, you come to Oklahoma, we're going to win for you because like the drive, 7 hours, you came, support the team.
Yeah.
So no, like the community is really big, and the fact that you guys are behind the club make the club bigger. And the fact that, Brian, you guys create the La Tormenta this season was crazy. Like whenever we're talking in the group chat, we're like, this year, guys, going to be crazy. They create a fan, like it's going to be La Tormenta. A lot of people are going to come to the game. So now, guys, I really appreciate the community, and that's why we're part of the club as well because of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's great to hear those reflections, and really cool to just see you guys connect with the community as well. That's one of the best parts of the whole season.
Okay. Apia, that was interesting to me because I feel like our supporters group is small. I feel like there's other times out there, both of you being international, right, that you've seen SGs. You know, I feel like we're growing. I feel like we're doing our part down here. But to hear that gives me a lot of like the heart for what we're doing, because I feel like we're small. I feel like we're still growing. We're still trying. We're giving y'all everything we got. But to know that y'all recognize it, and even in some of the places you've been that have a bigger soccer following than Midland, Texas, that we are showing up more than other cities and other places would. That means a lot for us down here. That means a lot to me.
And I think it's a lot different as well, especially from us coming from colleges where people will come and watch the game, but especially unless you're at a massive school, they're not necessarily supporters of the team, let's say. They just go because they're interested in soccer. So to have you guys that are interested in it all year round for multiple years at a time, I think it's amazing. And the atmosphere you guys bring, even when you just came by yourself to Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
I think it's amazing. You just have no fear. You're always shouting over the other team, even when Lubbock had so many the other day. So, no, as I say, we really, really appreciate you guys, and it gives you that little 1% more that you need in big games like Lubbock.
Well, we appreciate y'all, man. Really do. The question I have for both of you, let's talk about the culture of the club. You know, Apia, this is your second season here. Lucas, this is your first. Let's talk about what the kind of culture that Scotty has formed here. I'm sure he's the mastermind trying to make the bond, make things happen. How is his influence working amongst his team, and what kind of community is created amongst you and your other teammates out there?
Now you start this time.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors for us? What do you want to do?
No. I think it all starts with the stuff before we even arrive in terms of the club. Like, as I say to you, as soon as you hear from Scotty, he talks really well about what West Texas is all about, the way he's going to play. So you basically go here with no questions, about the football and about the type of club you're coming to. And then I think it's on him to recruit the right personnel. I think he does a lot of research behind the scenes that we necessarily don't know about, in terms of the characters he's bringing in as well as the players. And I think you see that with the group. We've got a massive group of players that are still here in the middle of July. They all could have gone home for the summer. If stuff was going against them, they could have just gone back to school. Or there's so many options of what guys could be doing, but they're all still here very late in the season. And I think that tells you enough about kind of what the culture's been like. I think he talked about when he was on the podcast with you, but we do so many competitions in training, so your mind's always at it. Guys are always competing with one another, and I think the guys that aren't necessarily playing as much as they'd like to, they're all very focused on improving every day, which drives on the guys who are playing the game. So we really have that base, which allows us to kick on the guys that are playing more. So No, I think in terms of the culture, as I say to you, it starts right at the beginning. And Scotty recruited well from the start, the right personnel, and then from that, it's just about growing with the club. We see you guys come to the games. We see the little kids that come and support us and try and give us high fives every time we go in and out that locker room. So it grows on you as you're here as well. And if you start off with a good base and it grows, then you start to see results like we're seeing every week.
Yeah, exactly. So
Nice.
I know Scotty since 2 years ago now. I've been working with him at Faulkner, and then last year, obviously, with you, West Texas. But start with values and principle that he brought into the team. And obviously, the first thing is we keep saying that, but we are family, and we have to stick together, stay together, no matter what. And there is no one bigger than the club. At the end of the day, it's the club before everything else. We have to respect the badge, the logo, and that's the basics. And like, as you said, Lucas, now we have still 20, 25, 26 guys, where you can go to any other team in the conference or in the country, they probably like 18, 19. And I don't know if you guys remember, but last year we finished the last game with 15 guys, only one keeper.
Yeah.
So it was tough. And we got player injured, and we couldn't replace them. So no, that's the first thing. And Scotty knows how to manage player, and the fact that we have competition day, like Lucas said, it's so good. Like we all want to compete, and always in the right way, the good way. No, nothing bad from any other guys. And as long as we stay together, like we said, a family, we're gonna go far, I'm sure.
I think as well, just to add to that, one more thing is obviously the coaches are the youngest coaches in the NPSL, so that could have created an interesting dynamic, of course. But they've been unbelievable in the way they've managed it and distanced themselves when they've needed to and stuff like that. And I think all the players sort of have bought into what they're trying to do in their own coaching careers as well. So we want to do it for them as much as we're doing it for ourselves and for you guys, you know. So when we go out on the pitch and when we're training and stuff like that, we want to do well for the coaches too, and I think that's a massive part of it. There's so many teams, I presume, across the nation at this time now in July, where the coach has completely lost the changing room, you know, where they're just playing as a team, but the coach isn't there. Whereas we're still all interconnected. Then you add you guys to the mix as well, and you've got a winning formula, you know. So yeah, that's definitely huge for us.
Man, and you can really see that. I mean, even earlier today, we were talking about just how when you watch the squad, it does seem like everyone is working together, right? It's not just kind of like a couple of guys trying to do their thing and with a couple more guys trying to do their thing. It really seems like a unified kind of front. And one thing, you know, thinking about you two as players, you know, when I think of the way that you guys play, obviously in two different positions, but both of you guys are in every tackle. You don't take anything from anybody. Just, you know, you're the dogs in the team, right? You don't give up. You just keep fighting. Is it the culture? Is it kind of your background as a player? Where do you get that drive just to continuously keep going in after the ball, because it's exhausting to watch. It's incredible.
I just don't think you play as long as I mean, Appy has played a lot longer than me, to be fair, but I don't think you play as many games and for as long as we have and in multiple countries and leave your family when you're 18 to come and play and all these sorts of things if you don't have the hunger to play, you know what I mean? And as I say to you, Scotty's clever in the way he recruits, and he mentioned a lot at the start is how many of us in the squad have been captains at their respective colleges. So I think when you have a captain, you know what the captain's going to bring, you know what I mean? Especially if they played at a college, they're going to be the one that sets the tone, the one that flies into the tackles. And I think to a man across our team, I think everyone's like that. Like, we don't have anyone who's going to shy away from a tackle. So yeah, it can make us quite an annoying team to play against, I'm sure.
Yeah, for me, I would say more of my background and my experience. Obviously, when you see me on the field, I like to play with the opponent. I like to go in their ears, talk to them, and I know how to play with them. It's a mindset game, especially for me as a striker against the center back. I have to be on his head. He has to think about me. Oh, where's he gonna go? Oh, he's going right. He's going left. I can't see him anymore. But I try to do that. I try to talk to the ref as much as I can because I know to talk to him. And, but yeah, it's experience, background, being smarter than the opponent, and obviously play the game. At the end of the day, I'm a striker. I like to run, and I have to run for the team because I'm the first player to press. So if I'm not in shape or if I'm not ready to go, they're gonna suffer behind me, and I don't want that. So I have to be on every tackle. I have to be on the center back, and be ready for every ball, fighting. I probably saw against Lubbock it was tough for me because I had 3 big guys, but try to fight as much as I can. But try to help the team in any ways because I have to. If I can score, I have to help them in another way.
Yeah, and I mean, my dad used to always say to me as a kid as well, is even if you have the worst game ever, like things go wrong, like you can give the ball away a lot and stuff like that, but as long as you work as hard as you possibly can, give 100%, you're probably still going to have a 5 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? So work rate is something that you can control and you can guarantee each game, and that's something that, I mean, we don't even need to talk about our team working hard. We always work hard, so it's just a given at the level we're at now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would, and that work rate is evident in the first 5 minutes, and you guys maintain that for 90 plus. And we've talked about numerous times. It's one of the things we're most proud of when we watch the squad, all of you guys, and just how hard you work and how gritty you are. And you're willing to just, like you said, control the controllables. You can't always kind of force a goal, but you can force yourself to keep running and keep trying. And so, I'm really proud of that aspect of the club and what you guys bring to that. So I appreciate that,
great.
Chris.
That's the type of team you guys deserve, considering how hard you work off the pitch too. So there you have it. It's a mutual respect.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I've got a double question, but they're both short, and they go back to kind of that conversation a moment ago about culture. So my 2 questions are: one, who controls the playlist in the locker room, and 2. Who's the player that's cracking a joke when a joke needs to be told, or who's the goofball in the squad who's bringing that levity when things might get serious or players are frustrated or something like that?
Wow, we've had a few this season. That's a tough question. Okay, you can start us off. I need a moment.
Easy for the playlist. It's me or Carrick. Depends. Depends on the mood of the game. I like to play hard song that is gonna motivate the team. And Carrick is more like, electro dance song. And it's another mood, but we try to mix, And in terms of jokes, I could be in that list as well. I like to make fun of people. I like to have a laugh. And the last time in practice we had like rondo, and some of the guys stay in the middle for too long, so I had to say something, So there's
my third follow-up question. Who's the rondo master on the team? Who's the king of the rondos?
Who's the rondo disaster? That should be the question.
Who's the disaster in rondos?
Both. The VIP. Now we have some few guys. I would say we can put Kenny in that list. Kenny.
Kenny, sure. And I think Mr. Captain Carrick Bromwich had a red session the other day. So there's a couple names in your hat. Awesome. But no, for me, as you say, changing room playlist is Appia and Carrick always. I prefer Carrick. I can't lie, Appia. I prefer the old electronic music, but that's just a culture thing. It's the same in every changing room. You can't please everybody, And then the Joker for me, mate, it's got to be Ryan. But he kills me. Like awesome. He's always he takes a joke well. He's a funny guy.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
Lord. Oh, guys. So tomorrow, Wednesday starts our playoff run. Wednesday and Saturday. We've got we're meeting Fort Worth again. Last result wasn't so great. If you could speak on it, what can we change to make sure our result turns different on Wednesday? Because we want to carry this thing as far as we can. Last time, tough loss. What can we do differently to secure that W on Wednesday?
Well, obviously we rotated a little bit in the last game, so that makes a difference. Some guys that maybe weren't so familiar playing with one another played, which was important for the squad because obviously we still knew we had a long run of games and we were guaranteed the playoffs by that point too. So that'll be the first thing is there's no way we're rotating for a playoff game. So that'll be bonus number one. Bonus number two, as we talked about already, we're a very resilient team, and losing to them is... Honestly, that would be the team we'd want to play because we don't want to finish the season against anyone in our conference with a loss, you know. So we want to go there and we want to take care of business, you know. So, or sorry, they come to us and we take care of business, thankfully.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll
put in that work. Bring them home.
That's it. Yeah, bring them to us, you know. But no, I think it just gives us a bit of extra motivation to go there and get the job done and prove that we are the better side.
Yeah, exactly. One word would be revenge, because what happened last time, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. We didn't score, and it barely happened this year.
That's not you.
So, no, it just take the game as a final, because it's if we lose, we're out. And I don't think any one of the team wants that. So we're going to prepare mentally, watch some clips because I think we need to. And fair play to forwards. They improved from the first game.
Yeah.
But we did it as well, so I think we're gonna be more prepared.
Yep.
Especially with the win that we got Saturday, give us more confidence, and now we just have to apply on the field. That's it. I think we're ready. Everyone on the team is ready and excited to play that game because, as I said, at the end of the day, it's a final, and I don't want to be out. So as competitive as we are, we're gonna try to win.
Yep.
And hopefully we can host Saturday again and for the final.
I think as well, the couple of losses we've had this season have both been at home, and that can be a little bit disappointing as a squad. That's not something we're proud of, you know, especially for the fans and the kids that are more local, that aren't travelling to the games or watching the streams. We don't want them to think that they've got a mediocre team in West Texas. So yeah, we need to take care of business, especially in these hopefully next two home games and beyond, to make sure that we end the season on a high for those that are just coming to one or two games a season, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I really want to see y'all hoist some cups this year. It's going to be great.
100%.
Quick follow-up. Who scores? Which one of our guys scores first on Wednesday? I've got my vote is Apia. But
if you're not voting for Apia, you've got something wrong. We'll have to get your head checked.
We had so many guys who can score this year, so...
Dangerous.
I don't know, to be honest. But yeah, we have Alberto. Leo is amazing. I know Yacht is working his ass off. He's ready to go. I'm surprised Adam can score as well. So no,
surprised?
No, we had some crazy guy that can score at any time. So I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah. Y'all are dangerous, man. Y'all got so many blessings up there that can just fire off.
We need to get you guys entertained. That's the thing. Off your seats.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, you've done that. Done that and then some, man. I'm curious. Just you guys have played all over the country, in different countries. How does kind of the level of football, in the Lone Star Division in NPSL, how would you kind of describe this as a league? I'm sure you have friends who ask about it. How do you describe the league that we find ourselves in right now?
Your turn, Apia.
Tough question.
Hit it with a hard one, Baham.
So me playing in NAIA is kind of different because from what I heard in D1 and D2, there is a different style of plays, but I know, especially in my conference in NAIA, we had like 5-6 teams. They were ranked, and most of the team were trying to build from the back and play. It was not like a direct style of play or long ball, so it was different. But I would say the Lone Star Conference, for me, is one of the best conference in NPSL. We have like tough team. And the fact that we have the rivalry against Lubbock is huge. I know last year we had Laredo, Denton. They were a tough team as well. But if I had to compare, I don't know, to be honest, because we had teams that play. Lubbock try to play, and they have like good players. Oklahoma, I was surprised, but they're actually a good team for first year as a club, you know.
Yeah.
And then you have team like Forwards, like out of nowhere. Last year they haven't won any game, and this year they completely different. So that's tough.
Yeah.
Even Houston, like when we went there, we beat them, but they tried to play. They tried to build from the back. Obviously, that was not perfect, but they tried to play. They tried to make it happen. So that's different. That's tough. But I would say that the conference is a good conference where the team try to play, and that's always good to play this kind of game because, especially Lucas can tell, but as a midfielder, you don't want the ball go over your head over and over because you want to play, you know. So yeah, I would say we're trying to play, and this conference is really good football.
That's really good.
Apia kind of set me up there, but yeah, over the last couple of seasons at Division 1, I've spent a lot of time looking at the ball over there. So yeah, the ball spends a lot of time in the air. I think a lot of coaches in Division 1 are American, mine were, and they do like to play a direct style. It's, as they say, it's results based, and they don't really like to take chances at the back like the international coaches tend to do. So I think this conference has been completely different in terms of dominating the ball. When I was at junior college, my coach was Irish, so we liked to have the ball. We'd have the ball most games for, 60-70% of the game, you know. And West Texas, that's what we're trying to do as well. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a change for me. A lot of my time the last 2 years has been playing off of second balls and stuff like that, whereas with West Texas we dominate the ball well. So yeah, it's back to thinking about your movement a little bit more and how you can find pockets and get facing forward, whereas before I didn't necessarily have to worry about that so much over the last couple of seasons. And also, West Texas is one of the best clubs in the whole NPSL, never mind the conference. So you're expected to go and dominate the game, whereas Niagara is one of the lower teams in Division 1. So we're holding on to try and get results in our league. So it's a completely different dynamic. So I kind of understand why we play longer ball, because we probably don't have the personnel compared to the level like we have here at West Texas. So yeah, and then as for the conference itself, I think there's a little bit more variety than there was in my conference at college. I think at Division 1 every team can beat you on their day, whereas here I think there's some teams that we're meant to take care of business from more, if that makes sense. But yeah, as I say, those top teams are very, very good. Like for example, Momo Diop, who plays at Lubbock, the number 10, he was the player of the year in my conference. So that just shows you the level of our conference too, you know. So yeah, definitely a little bit more technical, which is something I enjoy a lot more. A lot more similar to home. So I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, and that makes a lot of sense. You describing kind of the different styles of play you guys have gone through, because it has seemed like, you know, we've needed different passages of the game to kind of operate a little differently. And the long ball direct, you know, we've done really well when we needed it. And whenever it's all about possession and all about playing with the ball and good passes, we've done that too. So it's pretty awesome that, you know, we've got a squad who can kind of play however best suits that phase of the game or that moment.
Yeah, and I think as well, when you look at, for example, our squad in comparison to your Lubbock do have a lot more Division 1 players who are probably used to the style that I'm describing. Whereas with us, we have a good blend of guys from the NAIA, guys from D2, guys from junior college. So you really see that sort of combination of styles, which I think can catch teams off guard. And also, it brings other guys on as well. For me, as I say, I've had to focus a bit more on the technical side of my game that I haven't had to the last few years. And maybe the guys who are at junior college, for example, like Alberto and Shuto, they maybe had to step up a bit and be a little bit more physical. So I think we've got the best out of each other in terms of the squad.
And as you said, the good thing is we can build, we can play counter-attack, we can play long ball. We know how to play different style because we have the player for. And that's a blessing, because there is some team, they're stuck with one style of play, but we can actually have different style of play. So it depends on the context of the game or the opponent. And as you see, like against Lubbock, we score on counter-attack the first game, 2 goals counter-attack. The last goal was a counter-attack as well. So, and the first goal that we scored was we built the goal. So, you know, that's the good thing about the team. We can play a different style, and that makes us like really strong.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. I've got one other question from a couple of games ago. So I'm just curious of your perspective as players of that game against Brownsville and that long delay. Because I don't know, that was what, close to 3 hours, 2.5 hours, however long that delay was. And we were, as fans, we were having fun in the concourse, hanging out in the stadium. But for you guys, what was that like as a player perspective? Just staying fresh, staying ready for that game, sitting in the locker room during that time. But then also, like, what a unique experience to come back from that long delay and immediately have a PK. Describe that experience a little bit of that Brownsville game with that long delay.
Yeah, you took it, Appia. You've got to start this one.
No, so
Take the PK. It's on the spot for you.
no, but so when he called the PK, I went to the ref. I said, "No, you cannot say like we're gonna have to go to the locker room right now. It's a PK." Say, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but the lining, we cannot do anything about it." So you telling me that we have to wait for a PK? That's crazy, because usually there is a quote saying like whenever there is a PK, you have to take it like 10-30 seconds right after, because you lose your concentration, you lose everything. Especially that's good for the keeper, you know. Yeah. So when we went to the locker room, at first we thought it would be like 30-40 minutes delay, but every time they were adding 30, and it ended up to be 2 hours. So at first we were just having touches on the ball, juggling with some guys. Some of the other guys were staying in the chair waiting. We had the chance to have the popsicle on the side.
So nice.
That was the secret formula.
That's a secret right there. Yeah.
And then we had to wait. And at the end, at some point, we were like, there is no way we're gonna play that game. Like, it's been too long. And no, Brownsville wanted to play. Say okay. And whenever we went back to the field, I was like, okay, now I'm gonna have to take the PK after 2 hours without touching the ball, so it's gonna be tough. But I knew where I wanted to shoot, and that's the most important. As long as you don't change the side where you're gonna play, you want to shoot, like that's good, because you have to stick with one side, and that's what I did. I was focused, ready, and that was crazy because I saw you guys on the side waiting for that. So when I said I have to go to see you guys, it was a crazy experience for real. Waiting 2 hours for a PK never happened. It was so good.
Well,
no, 100%. I think it was such a unique experience, and never happened to me before anyway. But in fairness, the guys from Kaiser who had been playing down in Florida, I think they have it quite often, so they knew exactly what to do. They came in, they put their legs up, everyone was following them. Gabo got the music on, and everyone was juggling the ball. So we certainly made the most of the delay, and then obviously we were delighted to still see you guys in the stand when we came down. And I think we were slightly irritated at the fact that Brownsville were never letting the game go, considering we were basically 3-1 up, you know. But they wanted to play, and we said, if they want to play, then we're going to give it to them. So that was basically our talk before we went and played that last 20 minutes. And I think, how many goals did we score? Was it 3? They certainly were made to pay for wanting to play for a little longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a blast for us as supporters, and also just to mention too, you mentioned those guys from Kaiser who are used to this a little bit, and we haven't had as many storms, it doesn't feel like, this year as we did last season. We kind of had several that rolled through, but for us, that's part of like where our name came from, La Tormenta, just because playing in the spring here in West Texas, you never know when a storm like that can pop up. So that was a cool experience for us as well as fans.
I know you guys enjoyed yourself as well while we were waiting in that change.
Absolutely,
yeah. Fun.
There was some more fire in the belly when we came down, right?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah. There was some slurred chants. Yeah. Brian, you got one?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I want both of you to think about the season that we've had so far. Regular season's done. We're into playoffs.
New season.
Can you give me your favorite match and your favorite moment from the any match through the season?
I guess a good question, actually. Appia, start us off again.
I was working hard on that
one. For me, so I would say the first game against Lubbock, because we start slow, I would say. We win the first game, lost the second one, tied the third one. So we know that Lubbock were undefeated, and the fact that they came here like too confident, and we play really well. We had the game plan and respect the gameplay perfectly. That was not the best football that we played, but the game itself was so good. Like playing that game, being inside the field was so good. And obviously, I mean, you talk about it, but the best moment was the Brownsville game. Coming back from 2 hours delay, and you guys being still there on the stand waiting for us, and we won, and that was a blessing. So I would say that's those two games.
Yeah, we've talked about how that Lubbock game was the first time it seemed like it all kind of fell into place. Like you could see all the pieces, but they just kind of were still just barely missing. And then that was the match that we kind of, that's the team, you know, all kind of together. So yeah, that's fun to hear from your perspective.
For me, it's got to have been just the last 20 minutes we all had together back at Lubbock. Like, honestly, I was warming up, and Scotty's told me to come up and come on. And just as I'm jogging up the touchline, Alberto scores that goal. So we're all jumping all over each other. He's like, "Quick, get on!" And you come on. It's a chaotic part of the game, so you're trying to calm yourself, you know. And in the last kick of the game, I just missed a header previously, and Cam was giving me stick for it, who sat over there. The ball came up in the air for the last kick of the game, and I thought, I've got to win this ball. And then the ball hit my head, and the ref blew the full-time whistle. So, thereafter that, the whole team was euphoric, you know. And then obviously go over and spend some time with you guys as well, which was great. So yeah, it was a big relief to score late, and then obviously secure it towards the end of the game. So yeah, for me, that's got to be the highlight of the season.
And what's yours, Brian?
Yeah, good
my
question.
highlight for the season? Ooh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah,
You too, Chris.
From you guys now.
It's about time you two get put on the spot.
Oh, I'll answer.
Nope. Well, then go for it, Luke. Give me a second to get mine sorted.
Yeah, I think it's a tough. It's tough between the Brownsville game. There was something. Any time something gets unpredictable, you just kind of have to roll with it and accept it. And it's something like, you know, we've talked about, we are fans of this club come hell or high water, right? And that was a high water day. And so there's something about it that just kind of loosens you up, and you go, you know what? I mean, I'm here until the boys go home. I'm staying right here. So come what may, right? And so that experience, and we got to just hang out, and a lot of the people who had been to a few games got to meet other people who were from the games, and we kind of got to, you know, become our own brotherhood a little bit more, and that was really special. And but Lubbock away, that was my first away game, was a few days ago, and the just all the people in the stands, the whole build up to the game, driving up, you know, there was just something about the entire event that just felt like there was a little magic dust in the air. And so that when that second goal went in, it was like, I'm joy on a level that, you know, you don't get very often. It was just something so special. And I remember, you know, my favorite game last year was Denton, and it was I think kickoff was around like 10:30 because our bus broke down or something. Yeah, and there's just something about those matches. Like I said, when something goes wrong, it just creates kind of an adventure, and I love that adventure. So I don't know which I'd pick, but I'll remember those two kind of as one thing. And I think that's my moment of the season until Wednesday, and then that'll be my favorite. And then Saturday.
Guys, you can answer again next week with new moments.
That's right.
Yeah.
How about you guys, Chris, Brian?
Yeah, what you're talking about there, Luke, whenever we got that goal, it was like in a movie to where the world around you, the sound stopped, except for in our section. Like everything went black and white and everything's in color right here. It's so surreal. It's like the stadium fell silent except for our supporters, and it was so amazing. I really think I got to agree with you. The Brownsville match is my favorite. I love adversity games. I love things that, this is a problem. We were up, 2-1 going in, right?
Correct.
2-1 going in, and y'all came back out. You kept fighting. You did your thing. We got to have fun running down the ends. We made up all the chants. We figured out nothing rhymes with merchant. I mean, all sorts of cool stuff. I mean, we're just pulling stuff up on the fly. It was fun. But I think my favorite moment was after the clock struck, 99 minutes with the 7-minute stoppage up in Lubbock or whatever. To see everybody's face, to look out at y'all on the field, to see Melissa's face, to see the people and just like realize we've done it. We've done it. undefeated against Lubbock again. The boys worked their asses off from can to cane, and they've earned the trophy. They've earned the Dustico. It was beautiful. I mean, talk about something that you'll remember for the rest of your life is watching y'all storm over to us and hugs and yelling and celebrating and hoisting the trophy and Championes.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Guys, that's going to be something that I'll never forget in all my days. So
yeah, and it ended this season we got to kill 2 of Lubbock's streaks, right? Because we beat their unbeaten record, and then they were unbeaten at home until we showed up, right? And that's always special against the rivals, man.
Yep, and we're also the only team in the conference that knocked off the top of the table 3 times.
There you go.
So twice it was Lubbock, once it was Oklahoma.
Is this the first time we've been top as well? Am I right in saying that? We saved the best time to get up there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think so. Yeah.
I think we flirted with it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely something, man. I mean, hell, Lubbock hasn't beaten us since July 8th of 2023, so
it's a good run.
It's a nice run, and y'all just kept it running for us. That was real special for us. Yeah, really appreciate that.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, like you guys mentioned, there's just been a lot of awesome moments throughout this season, connecting with the fans, connecting with the players, just connecting with this team in general as the team is grown and built throughout the season. So a moment is really hard to pick. A game is easy for me to pick because, as you guys mentioned earlier, I made that trip up to Oklahoma, and what a hell of an away day, man! That game was wild. Like, you guys went up so quickly, and then we're up 3-0 in that first half, and that you could hear a pin drop in that stadium, which was amazing for me because I could just make my voice heard, and it was awesome. But then that whole second half was crazy. I mean, credit to Oklahoma, the way that they came back and scored a few, but then to score in stoppage time on that PK was just wild, and that was a very memorable. I've had a lot of fun away days in my day, supporting various teams, but that was one of the most memorable away days for sure. That was a blast.
Yeah, you certainly deserved that late goal, I'll tell you, for your travels.
Definitely. It was much enjoyed for sure.
You can thank Alberto for that.
Oh, it's one guy can't do it, man.
That's true. He's not bad, though. He's not bad.
Oh, he's been pretty good.
None of you guys are
this season.
Yeah. Well, guys, like I said at the beginning, we're just so thankful for your time and the opportunity to get to talk to you some more and hang out. Normally it's like in small chunks. So it was really exciting and fun to get to talk to you. I'm curious just to kind of end this episode. Do you guys have anything, and maybe it's just like some of the best advice you've ever gotten or some kind of message or thought or memory that's come to you for the fans of West Texas FC. I just kind of want to give you guys the floor and hear your kind of final words here.
No, I think for me, what I touched on earlier, just about that hard work aspect, and I think you see that a lot here. It comes from you guys. It comes from the parents bringing their kids to the games and staying up late. It comes from Scotty and the work that the team are doing downstairs. It comes from us on the pitch scoring these late goals and working hard. So yeah, I think from when I was a kid, my dad always told me the one thing you can control is your work rate, and West Texas is certainly an epitome of that. 100% all the time, and that's what I love about this club.
Yeah, for me would be the discipline. Stay disciplined on whatever you do in life, sports, work, whatever. And obviously, we're so thankful because of you guys. Obviously, we play the game, but you guys make the team bigger, the club bigger. Last year we didn't have La Tormenta. This year we do. And I don't know what's going to happen next year, but and as I said before, that's why I came back, because I love the club, I love the community, I love you guys, and that's such a pleasure to play in front of you guys and having, I don't see you guys as a supporter, I see you guys as friends, because you guys screaming our names, having some song now, so that's a blessing for real, and I appreciate everything that you've done so far, and hopefully we can make you proud until the end, and hopefully we can go to national this year and try to go all the way.
Yeah, I think we need you three on the roster next year. You need a little spot, though.
Make it official. Huh?
Team.
Yeah, I think our spots are up in the stands. I don't think we'd last 5 minutes even warming up with you guys. We'll leave that to y'all, and we'll keep screaming.
With Eli warm up, you won't last. I'm telling you.
The broad jumps wouldn't be good.
Man, that's awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Any other parting words, Brian or Chris?
Can't wait to see y'all on Wednesday.
Yeah,
that's right.
Come out, be loud, stay late. No matter what happens, we support this club, win or lose. We really do appreciate you guys and your time, what you did for us tonight, what you've done for us all season.
Yep.
Can't wait to see y'all play on Wednesday, man. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much. As I say, the whole club, the community have been so welcoming to us. We have guys from all over the world. So yeah, thank you so much to yourselves and obviously Midland, the club. It's been an amazing experience so far, and hopefully we're just getting started.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. So Wednesday,
baby, let's go.
Wednesday is Fort Worth, and we're going to be at Astound Stadium. Kickoff is at 7:30, so make sure you're there early and root these guys on as we kind of embark upon our playoff run. And then we'll just take what comes our way and keep supporting and keep working hard and keep discipline. So with that, guys, see you guys Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.